Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here, and today I'm going to be filming a really fun tag video. I was tagged to do the leap year book tag by Joanna Caz and Cats and Camera, so I will link both of their channels down below and their original or their videos because I love both of them, and they both tagged me on the same day, so I was like, I clearly have to do this video now. So I'm going to do it. It was originally created by Hilary from Melted Books and Amy Myers, who I believe used to be the non-fiction feminist, but I think she's changed her name to Amy Myers now. So go and check both their channels out. Again, I'll link their videos down below, their originals. I think this is a great tag idea. It's supposed to celebrate the leap year because, you know, they don't come around very often. So yeah, I'm really excited. So let's get in with the questions. So question number 1 is an extra day. What is one book that brought a little something extra? And so for me, I went with Jack and Jill by James Patterson, which is the 3rd book in the Dr. Alex Cross series. I love the Alex Cross series in general. I've now read 4 of the books. If you watched my January wrap-up, which I'll link down below, you'll know that I said that the first 2 books in the series follow a particular psychopath named Gary Sonji, and then the 4th book goes a little bit back to that original one. But the thing that I love the most about Jack and Jill, because it was the 3rd book in the series, it was something different but with the same characters that I loved, and I love that. I really enjoy when you read like crime books or thriller series like this kind of series, where you kind of get the characters that you love so much and you get a different storyline, so you can kind of see them. It's almost like episodes on TV series, I guess. So for me, it was an extra thing because it was that like continuation of something I loved so much, but it was new characters, it was a new storyline, and I really loved it. So that was my something extra. Question number 2 is taking a big leap, and this is what is one book that you are or were afraid to read. So I have kind of picked a book that is a specific book that I'm afraid to read, but it also represents a type of book. So I have picked what is this one? Shadow's Edge by Brent Weeks, which is the sequel and the 2nd book in the, I don't know what the name of the trilogy is now, Night Angel trilogy. I read the first one in October, November time, and I really enjoyed it. But I think the thing that scares me about reading high fantasy sequels is that, one, I feel like I'm going to have to go back and reread the original, but I'm also not somebody who wants to read like 3 books in a series straight through, like especially when they're massive chunky ones and they're high fantasy, which are not my favourite genre anyway. So this particular one is like 650 pages, and so was the 1st and the 3rd one in the trilogy. And I think for me, the reason why I'm so afraid to read them is because, one, firstly I gave this one a 3-star, the 1st book in the series, but I love the idea of a high fantasy series, and I love that it continues. I think for me, I'm scared that I will continue and read a sequel and firstly really want to read the 3rd one, and then like feel like I need to read it straight away, and then that's literally like 2 massive books, that's a month gone, do you know what I mean? But also because like there are so many other books on my shelves, and I'm like really scared to just pick up a huge book because I know how long they take me to read as well. So yeah, I think that's kind of my fear, I guess. Probably a really stupid fear to have, but also I'm really sorry that the sun is literally about to like appear out of the corner, so the lighting is probably a bit weird and all over the shop, but I'm just doing what I can. But yeah, this one. Question number 3 is every 4 years, and it is, what is the 4th book you read this year? The 4th book I read this year was The Prison Doctor by Dr. Amanda Brown. This was a gift that I got for Christmas from Caz from Cats and Camera. This is a non-fiction book that focuses on Dr. Amanda Brown's life working in prisons. She's worked in multiple prisons, and she went from being a GP in a kind of traditional GP surgery to working in a prison, and it's kind of about the things that she's dealt with. It's kind of a memoir, I guess. It's really inspirational. She's really amazing, and I absolutely love this. I gave this a 4-star. I really enjoyed this book. I think it's really well written, and yeah, I'm glad that I have started. This was my first non-fiction book of the year, and I'm glad I started off my non-fiction with such a wonderful read. Now, question number 4 is 366 days in the year. Looking at your 3rd shelf, name the 6th book on that shelf and name the 6th book after that. So I went to my 3rd shelf, which is the little one that you can't see, but it's over there. And I picked the 6th book on that shelf, which was Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I have had this on my shelf for ages and I really do want to get to it. I've heard really mixed things, which is what is putting me off, I think. So this is about a world, it's a fantasy YA book, I believe, and it follows a world where the world is divided by blood, so you're either red or you're silver. It says the Reds are commoners ruled by a silver elite in possession of godlike superpowers. And to 17-year-old Mare, a red girl from the poverty-stricken stilts, it seems like nothing will ever change. But Mare possesses a deadly power of her own, one that threatens to destroy the balance of power. Fearful of her potential, the Silvers hide Mare in plain view, declaring her a long-lost silver princess. Knowing that one false move will mean her death, Mare must use her new position to bring down the regime from the inside. Now Mare has entered a game of betrayal and lies. This is Reds against Silvers, Prince against Prince, and Mare against her own heart. So yeah, I am really looking forward to this one. Like I said, I've heard really mixed things. I've heard a lot of people say that this isn't really anything different, but like, YA fantasy like can be a hit or miss for me anyway, so potentially I'll really enjoy this one, who knows. And I know that yeah, there's some people that really enjoy this and some people that don't, so yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully picking this up because like I said, this has been on my shelf for a long time. And then 6 books on from that was The Power by Naomi Alderman, which is a kind of dystopian book, I believe, about women who discover they have the power. Strangely enough, both of these books were about power. It says with a flick of the fingers they can inflict terrible pain, even death. And I think the men lose control and the women are kind of in charge. And I think it's meant to be like a gender flip of kind of modern day, I guess. This, I believe, won the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2017. Again, I've heard mixed things, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Again, this has been on my shelf for a while, but I've just seen that Cosmopolitan said it was The Hunger Games crossed with The Handmaid's Tale, which that sounds like a great book, and I do love a dystopian, so yeah, hopefully I will get to this one this year, I hope, so we'll soon find out. Question number 5 is Leaping Ahead. Name 4 books that you want to read by the next leap year. So I'm not going to include any of the books that are on my 3 TBRs for the year because I don't want to, you know, repeat myself many times. But let me think of 4 books that I want to read in the next 4 years, I guess. Okay, so the first book that I definitely want to read in the next 4 years, I guess, is My Name is Leon by Kit DeWall. Again, this is a book I've had a while. I've seen this on quite a few different people's channels. I believe this is about Leon, who's 9 years old, and he has a baby brother called Jake. Jake is white and Leon is not, and then it's about them having to, I think it's about getting foster families. I think Jake is getting adopted or fostered, but Leon can't because, I don't know, I think it's to do with identity, race, love, bonds between siblings, etc. It's not a massive book. I've had it again for quite some time. So yeah, hopefully this is one I will get to. I'd like to say sooner than 4 years time, but yeah, it's definitely one on my radar. The next one is one I'm really hoping to read for the mental health-a-thon this year. This is, it's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini. This is I think it's not a true story, I don't think, but it's based on the author's true experiences. I believe Ned Vizzini has actually taken his own life since then, which obviously is a really tragic thing, and I think this talks about life in a mental hospital and things like that, and I think, like I said, I think it's based on true experiences of the author. So yeah, I'm really wanting to read this one. I think it's going to open my eyes a lot, and yeah, it's definitely something that I am you know, definitely interested in. The next one, when I'm filming this, I think Thriller-a-thon started like yesterday or the day before, and a lot of people over the weekend were reading the group book for Thriller-a-thon, and it's been on my shelf for a long time, so it's only, you know, increased my want to read it, and that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This is a story that I've talked about so many times. This has been on so many TBRs, and I think it was even on my 2019 TBR and I just didn't get to it. This follows a man named Jason Desson who is knocked unconscious at the beginning by a masked abductor who asks him is he happy in his life, and then he wakes up in a world where he is not married to the woman he thought he was. He doesn't have a son even though he knows that he had one, and his job is not what he thinks it is, and yeah, I think it goes from there. Like I said, really want to read this. I believe it's sci-fi thriller. I'm not really sure. I've seen a lot of people say that this is kind of messed up and really strange, but great at the same time. So yeah, this is definitely one that I'm hoping to get to, and I'd like to get to it you know, before then, but definitely before the next leap year. And then the last one I have is, it's a beast, guys. It is a beast. So the last video that just went up, you might have seen, was an announcement that I made that I'm doing a Stephen King read along called King Along, and we're gonna be, well, I'm gonna be if you want to join me, I'd love it if you did. I will link that announcement down below so you can go find out, but we're going to be reading a Stephen King book a month for the foreseeable future, it seems, because I'm trying to get through all of his books in publication order. And that means that I believe it's going to be kind of mid-year this year, I'm going to finally get to this book, because it's one of his earliest and it's massive, and I'm scared, guys, but we'll see. So I'm going to be reading The Stand by Stephen King. This is terrifying to me because, like I said, it's massive. In fact, how long is this book? 1,300 pages. So, wow, this is going to be a month. I'm pretty sure if I read this in a month, I'm going to read it like, I'm probably going to have to separate it out, because otherwise, honestly, I am honestly going to probably only read this book and that's it. I think I have this on audiobook actually, so I might do that as well, because that's probably a good idea. This, I don't really know what it's about, because the back, I mean, I'll read the back, but it says, first come the days of the plague, then come the dreams. Dreams that warn of the coming of the dark man, the apostate of death, his worn-down boot heels tramping the night roads, the warlord of the charnel house and prince of evil. His time is at hand, his empire grows in the west, and the apocalypse looms. I have absolutely no idea what that even means. Like, yeah, I don't understand. I know it's Stephen King and I love Stephen King, so I'm feeling like that's probably just where I'm going to go with it, to be honest. And yeah, like I said, I'll be hopefully reading this one in the next few months. I'm not actually sure exactly which month it'll be, but I'm going to do it. So it's intimidating and I'm scared, but I definitely want to and will be getting to it and a lot of the other Stephen King books before the next leap year. Question number 6 is Leapfrog, and that is to name a book on your TBR that has green in it. So for this one, I've gone with The Lake House by Kate Morton. In fact, most of Kate Morton's books have green covers, I've noticed, so that's a thing. Kate Morton's books are historical fiction, and they usually take place over like 2 or 3 timelines. So this one takes place in 1933, where 16-year-old Alice Edvane is preparing for her family's Midsummer Eve party. And then 70 years later, Detective Sadie Sparrow retreats to her beloved grandfather's cottage in Cornwall and stumbles upon an abandoned house and learns about, I guess, what happened in 1933. So I really love her books. I've read now, I think, 2 of them, and I've absolutely loved both of the ones I've read. So yeah, I can't actually remember which ones I've read now. I've read, what have I read? The Forgotten Garden, and I think I've read The Secret Keeper as well. I honestly can't remember. I know I've read 2 of them, but yeah, and I own like a good couple others, I think. So yeah, I really want to read this one as well, and it's got green on the cover, so it's beautiful. Question number 7 is Bad Luck. What bookish things do you steer clear from? So for me, it is the kind of the trope that I always talk about, and it is mental health. When a character has had or has a mental health problem or a mental health illness, and they are not believed because of that, so they are dismissed because, you know, they can't possibly be telling the truth because they've had a mental health issue in the past. So that is my least favourite trope. I think it's really damaging and I absolutely hate it. So yeah, that is the trope that I'm going to go with. And question number 8 is to tag 4 people. So I know that I'm posting this, I think, quite close to the end of the month. I will tag some people, but I know that obviously it's quite last minute notice, I guess. But I'm going to tag Brews and Reviews, Drinking by My Shelf, Books and Things, and Ripley's Reads. So I'd love you all to do it. Let me know what your answers are in a video if you want to. And yeah, I'm really excited. Happy leap year, guys. It's an extra day for us to read in February, which is always a great thing. And yes, so I will see you all later. Thank you so much to Caz and Joanna for tagging me, I guess. I'm really excited about all the content to come. Like I said, do go and check out my Stephen King along readathon. I have a video down below that will tell you all about it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.